Last year, I released a video entitled Are the Annie Awards Rigged?, where I talk about how in the 38th Annual Annie Awards, How to Train Your Dragon won every category that has to do with animated features, and how DreamWorks Animation won the majority of all the awards, rejecting other animated films that were far more superior than Dragon, like Toy Story 3, Tangled, Despicable Me, and many more. I also explained that this was an action that they already did before, and because of this, Disney decided to end their relationship with ASIFA, the group that made the Annies. This year, however, in the 39th Annual Annie Awards, things have changed, and things have changed for the better. Where do I begin? How about the winners? This year, in the movies category, there's more than one winner! The big one being Rango, winning a total of 4 Annies, including Best Animated Feature. Now you might think I would be a bit disappointed with this, since I put Rango at number 3 on my top 5 Best Animated Films of 2011 under Kung Fu Panda 2 and Tintin. Well, to be honest, not really. I actually respect their opinion. Although the story may need a little work, it does have the best computer animation of that year, and one of the best character designs I've ever seen in an animated film, which, by the way, it won an Annie for that as well. As for the 2 films I mentioned before, they each got 2 Annies. Tintin got them for Best Animated Effects and Best Music, and Kung Fu Panda 2 got it for Best Production Design and Best Directing. Also, there are even some films that got 1 award, like Arthur Christmas, Rio, and Winnie the Pooh. Now this is what I want to see in a winners list. There are several different winners, but some are a little more superior than others. Not just one film that hogs everything at the point that even fans of the movie would say that it didn't deserve all of it.
Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
But for those who remember the events of last year, you might be wondering, whatever happened to Disney? How is their relationship with ASIFA? Well, take a look at the sponsors list. If you look at the silver lineup, 2 words will best describe your answer. They're back. But why did they return? What made them change their mind after the events of last year? First, let me do a recap of why they left in the first place. Before, the voting qualifications were really tight, and ASIFA refuses to make a multi-studio advisory board. Plus the time when Kung Fu Panda was like Dragon and took every award and shutting down other films at the time like WALL-E, Disney and Pixar decided to withdraw from the Annies. After the show of the 38th Annual Annie Awards, ASIFA decided to replace presidents from Aintran Manoogian to Frank Gladstone, which he said when he became president that he would make some big changes to how the Annies would work. And I gotta say, mission accomplished, dude. In terms of nominations, Disney earned a total of 36 nominations, which this includes Pixar and Touchstone, while DreamWorks has 31. I'm not saying that it's good that Disney has more nominations than DreamWorks, I'm just saying that at least it's way more equal than 39 and 7. And, like I said before, Disney actually got an Annie for Winnie the Pooh for Best Storyboard. Not to mention that in television, Prep and Landing, Naughty vs. Nice, was a major powerhouse with 11 nominations and 4 wins. On a side note, there's a new nomination that they added called Member's Choice, where any member of ASIFA, both professional animators and fans, can vote for their favorite movie. I find it really interesting because I remember that I mentioned on my previous video that they should do something like this. It makes me wonder if the ASIFA actually saw my video. Can somebody help me confirm that? Anyways, if there is one flaw I find with the awards now, is that there are some categories that have way too many nominations. Usually, in any awards show, the standard number of nominations in a category is around 5, 6 max, unless it's the big prize like Best Picture where it might be okay to have more. In here, there are some that are around 8 or up. For example, check out Best Voice Acting in a Television Production. There's a total of 14 nominations in that category. Being nominated is one thing, but when almost everyone else is as well, you don't get the feeling of being the best of the best anymore. Also, it doesn't really have to do with the subject itself, but there is another thing that they should probably fix. Give the right envelope to the right person. Allow me to explain. During the 39th Annual Annie Awards show, near the end, they were announcing one of the best animation television productions. What happened was that they opened the envelope and announced the wrong winner. Now you might think that it was all part of the show, but I think that's a real mistake because after that, everybody stood there for around 5 minutes going, "Oh crap, what do we do now?" Possibly the biggest accident I've ever seen in an award show. I thought that would never happen. All I could say is that I think someone's fired big time. But it doesn't really matter how they presented it. The big thing is that they managed to fix the problem they had last year, and now it really shows that they have become an actual award ceremony that celebrates everything animation than just celebrating one company. I know this may not be much, but I just wanted to make a conclusion to my last video, just to say that they did something about last year's events and made it a whole lot better. All I could say now is that I'm proud of you, Asifa. Let's hope the new Annies will live on for years to come.